Here's everything you need to know about the SAG-AFTRA strike, the Actors Guild Union strike. But first of all, if you're coming on here and you don't even know what SAG-AFTRA is, SAG-AFTRA is basically an actors guild that helps protect the rights of the actors that are a part of it. To go into a little bit more detail, they basically, help negotiate contracts, they help enforce the contracts, they help actors get paid, they help set safety standards on sets, and even help to organize new work, and a couple of other benefits. So why is SAG-AFTRA on strike? So we haven't seen a strike from SAG-AFTRA since they struck in 2008 for like about 14 weeks. So why now? What does SAG-AFTRA want that they're not being able to get from the companies, and isn't really unreasonable or reasonable? The first part of the demands that SAG-AFTRA has is basically increasing pay, increasing minimum pay and increasing pay residuals. Not everyone that's an actor is a superstar and is super famous and have lots of money. Like, there's some actors that have just principal roles, maybe a doctor who just has a couple lines in a scene. Those actors don't get as much money, obviously, as the big superstars, and they still need to be able to make a living, and preferably without having to have multiple jobs. So they want the minimum pay for certain acting roles to be a bit higher because, inflation has been really rampant in this country in the last couple of years, and I don't think the wages have been keeping up with the pace of the wage increases. So that's why SAG-AFTRA is trying to get wage increases. And residuals from streaming, like, you don't really get that much money. It's basically whenever they run the show reruns, then the actors get commission. But if you're a small actor, or even the bigger ones, reruns are not going to give you that much. So increasing the minimum pay and the streaming residuals, I feel like, are not too big of an ask. And they also want to tie in royalty payments for reruns. They don't really get that much right now from the royal. I mean, of course, it depends on who, but a lot of actors don't get that much from the reruns because obviously it's a rerun. It's going to be worth less than the initial project. So they want to boost that up to keep up with, again, increased inflation in the last couple of years. There's also been a thing where there's been shorter seasons of shows, but they've been taking longer amounts of time. So they've been taking more time, and that means that there's less jobs available. Because if a company is working on, let's say, 3 projects, and they take a year, it's going to take a lot more time than if a company is working on 3 projects in 3 months, because then there's 3 more projects, and then 3 more projects. So they've been taking more and more time to make these, so that just makes less work available for more actors, which means less people get paid. And I think the biggest controversy about all of this is the use of AI now, because now companies these studios propose that they want to use an AI for background characters where they pay a person 1 day's worth of wages and then they can use their image forever for 1 day's worth of page, and that's ridiculous. So basically, you're paying someone once and then you can use it 10 years in a row, forever, 100 years, literally for 1 day's worth of pay. And it's not even to say that they can't use this technology. It's like, we want them to get fair compensation, because if you want to use the AI for background characters, fine, but like, it's still a person that you're using for it, so they should get paid fairly. Now, however, how much it's supposed to be, I don't know. They negotiate about it, and I guess it will depend based on the movie and based on the amount of screen time, a lot of nuances. Now, of course, strikes are only as long as the people who are working are willing to strike. So what can we expect? How much time frame can we expect for the strike to reasonably go on? It seems like up to like even 6 months. You can have 6 months to stop production, and it seems, based on some reports, that SAG-AFTRA is willing to go on strike. And the companies will not want to be 6 months halted in productions, because it would delay movies, it would delay releases, it would delay a lot of things. So hopefully they're able to negotiate a contract soon, at least make some compromises, and try to get both sides to the table and find something they both agree on. Those are all the demands. I want you to type in the comments what you think about these demands, and do you think they're unreasonable, reasonable, and do you think these studios should give some of these demands, all of these demands, or how should they negotiate it? Leave it in the comments below and let me know what you think.